Nick, why has Putin decided now is the time to withdraw the New START nuclear arms reduction treaty?
This week is all about the anniversary, the first anniversary of the war, of course. Today in Russia is marked as Defenders of the Fatherland Day. It used to be known as Red Army Day. All soldiers and ex-soldiers would get drunk on this day. And Putin is using this day, and presumably there'll be some more announcements tomorrow, the anniversary of the war. He's using this to up the ante. And the reason he's declared that they're withdrawing from that START to nuclear treaty and that he's going to deploy a new range of nuclear warheads and missiles is because there's been no success on the battlefield. He has been urging his top command for the last few weeks. He's been telling them he wants to see some kind of result on the battlefield so he can make some kind of victorious announcement on the first anniversary of the war. That has not materialized. Russian forces are bogged down in the east of Ukraine, and therefore he's resorting to form. This is out of his usual playbook. He's making threats, and he's announcing the deployment of nuclear missiles which have no capability to be used within Ukraine. The Sarmat 2, the so-called Satan 2 missile, it's a liquid-fueled rocket which can fly 18,000 kilometers. Now, how can that be used in the Ukrainian war? So he's basically using this to send a message to NATO, and it plays into this whole story that he has about Russia being the victim here, not Ukraine.
Now, Nick, the treaty with the U.S., it had aimed to avoid nuclear escalation. But so what's the likelihood now of Russia actually ramping up its program since it pulled out of that pact?
Actually, if you look at the fine detail here, although Putin says he is pulling out of that nuclear treaty, and it's the last existing nuclear treaty between the US and Russia, the Russian Foreign Ministry has said that they will continue to observe that treaty until it expires in 2026. This was extended in 2021 for 5 years. So basically, the Russians are saying they're going to observe the treaty conditions and that they will advise the Americans anytime they're going to move those missiles. They're going to stick to the treaty conditions until it expires. So there's a little bit more to this than meets the eye. On the one hand, he's saber-rattling to try to send a message out to Western audiences and to his domestic audience. On the other hand, he's actually sending a subtle message saying, look, we're not actually going to be pressing any buttons anytime soon.
France 24's Russia correspondent Nick Holdsworth, thank you so much for your reporting.